Call of Duty is a pretty generic game series. It's not that complex or original, and the gameplay is fairly decent to say the least. Almost anyone can agree with this statement if you play Call of Duty, but one thing that actually kept people from just leaving the series is the popular wave survival mode, simply called Zombie Mode. Zombie Mode first started out in Call of Duty World at War as an extra mode that you could play after the campaign. The history of Zombies Mode is actually pretty interesting to look into. Apparently the mode wasn't actually planned and the dev team behind it were just working on the thing in their free time. It actually wasn't going to happen until they just decided to power through the thing. From that, an entire new part of the franchise was born and got really popular really fast. In today's time, I don't really see that much excitement in the new Zombies mode, with the story just getting really confusing and just a genuine loss of what made each map kinda special. The zombie mode kinda lost popularity as people moved on to better games. What I'm talking about now, however, isn't the history of Zombies mode, but instead what was the best Zombies map. There are tons of maps that exist and it's hard to pick out which ones actually stand out from the rest, but in my opinion, I feel like the best map was, and always will be, First thing to talk about is the story. In Zombies mode, there's actually an underlying story in the game that goes into a lot of stuff regarding like Nazi scientists, aliens, and like the presidents and shit like that. The point is that the entire game mode has an underlying story that connects most of them together. Mob of the Dead is different. It is, or at least wasn't at the time, not connected to any other Zombies map in an explicit way, only mentioning some things such as like Nikolai and a few other things. Nikolai. This actually gives complete freedom for the creator to pull off something really interesting since it's not held back by the restrictions of the OG story, and that's exactly what they did with this map. Mob of the Dead takes place in Alcatraz, and we follow 4 mobsters named Sal DeLuca, Billy Handsome, Finn O'Reilly, and I cannot even pronounce his fucking name, and Albert Arlington, as they try to escape Alcatraz using a makeshift plane that you guys have to build. The story isn't anything to write home about, but I will tell you this. This map has the best environmental storytelling in a Call of Duty game I've ever seen in my entire life. When you first start off playing the map, you think you're only in for some simple zombie fun, but the more you look into the more subtle, okay, let me be honest, they're actually really easy to pick out if you know what you're looking for, but still, this map has really good environmental storytelling. The actual story of Mob of the Dead, or what it was before Origins changed it, was that 4 mobsters are actually dead and are in some type of purgatory. The reason why they're there in the first place is, well, they're mobsters. But secondly, because they all ganged up and killed this guy after their escape plan from the Alcatraz didn't fall into place. The only way to break the cycle is to do the Mob of the Dead Easter egg, Pop Goes a Weasel, and have Albert kill all the mobsters. If the mobsters kill him, then the cycle begins anew. Number 1, this story is not only told through doing the Easter egg, which most stories in the zombie maps do, you can actually figure out the majority of the story easily by clues left throughout the map. One big example of this is the dog heads. Basically, what you gotta do is kill 6 zombies near the dog heads. Do all 3 and you get a tomahawk called Hell's Retriever. Now, did anyone hear what I just said? Kill 6 zombies at 3 dog heads to get the Hell's Retriever. Now, that's actually pretty good. Oh, what about this newspaper clipping that says Urgatory? This rule that says 666. The fact that they mentioned the warden being Brutus.
You hear some of the shit that thing's saying? I think it's Ferguson.
There is no escape right where the electric chairs are. Some grade A shit, man. The story is just really interesting to get into simply because it's really cryptic and really weird. It almost feels like you're playing out the story of something like Jacob's Ladder. It's just really interesting to play out and figure out while you're killing off zombies. You would expect the gameplay to just be the normal zombies mode type thing. Just wave survival, zombie dogs, and the mystery box. Oh wait, no it isn't. You can make and discover multiple weapons, the traps and protections actually are pretty useful, and it's a boss battle that you have to watch out for. Wait, let me slow down. So the basic gameplay itself is pretty much the same as all the other maps, but there's so much more to it. For one, the zombies are actually designed really well. Nazi zombies are scary, but after a while, they kind of become not scary. These motherfuckers are scary as shit. They have barbed wire sticking out, contraptions that are just coming out fucking nowhere. Some of their bodies are mangled and shit. These guys look like they've been through hell. Oh. This just adds to the overall atmosphere that the map is trying to create, with the zombies being way more fucked than they actually are in other maps. Another thing that is different is the Afterlife mode. The Afterlife mode is basically a mode that puts you sorta in a ghost state where zombies can't attack you, and you can power up certain things. You can also zap away zombies, but that doesn't really kill them, it just teleports them to some other place. This is a way more interesting thing to do rather than just turn on the power in one specific area, because you kinda have to rely on your teammates being around you, or if you're alone, being smart and trying to figure out how to power up a perk or another thing without going down. You know, challenging stuff that game is supposed to do. Another thing to talk about are the weapons. Not only are the weapons in the mystery box a lot cooler than other maps, but the weapons that you can actually make are the coolest shit. These things actually have abilities that can help you out when you're trying to do a thing. For example, the Hell's Retriever and Redeemer aren't just weapons, these things can also pick up items and power-ups. Also, the other weapons such as the Blundergat and the Sweeper are really good shotguns, with the Sweeper being an actual functional grenade launcher. The one change that was handled pretty well as well was the boss zombie Brutus. Now, Brutus isn't really that hard to kill. Like literally all you have to do is just give him a couple shots to the face and he's dead. But he's way more than that. Not only does he drop hints about the story of Mob of the Dead, but he has the ability to actually lock your shit up, and you have to pay for it in order to actually, get to work again. Meaning that you have to be smart with how you actually approach Brutus when he comes around. Plus, his design is pretty fucking badass. It reminds me of a Big Daddy from BioShock. So, those are my thoughts on why I think Mob of the Dead is the best zombies map in the entire game series. It's not perfect, sometimes it can seem a little bit repetitive, but I believe that it's really good because of its story and some of the gameplay aspects in it. But what do you guys think? You guys think that's mediocre, or do you think that's like really bad or whatever? Leave inside the comments below. But I will see you all on the next video. See you later. I just wanted to say this is an extra little tidbit at the end that I'm probably going to be taking another 2-week, not break, but probably uploading period, because what I want to do is I want to make a whole bunch of videos and then release them on a schedule throughout late July and early to mid-August, just so I can focus on other things that I kind of want to do without having to worry about uploading to the channel constantly, or worrying about like making videos constantly for the channel. I'm just gonna create like a whole bunch of videos throughout like the weeks or throughout a 2-week interval, and then upload them like inside like August or some shit. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out.